Well, good morning and hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Michelle, and I am the creator of Michi's Readers Club. And this morning, um, I decided that I would talk about stress and anxiety. So I know some of you are like, well, why are we talking about stress and anxiety? Well, a lot of our children today are dealing with stress and anxiety, and they don't know quite how to deal with it. So we have to help them. We, as the parent, we, as the teacher, whomever, whatever role you play in a child's life, we must help them learn how to deal with stress and anxiety. So this morning, I've been playing some music, and it has really helped me to get some relief. One of the things that help children and even us as adults is listening to music that helps to de-stress us, along with breathing and along with changing our thoughts. And that can be very hard to do. But this morning, I want to level you up uh, and educate you in some things that I have learned about and how stress and anxiety exist in our lives, and some ways to know that this is happening. So, y'all know me, I'm always looking up things. So, I got on this morning and I was looking at my um, iPad, and I was like, how can I get some good information to send out to everybody right here on Michi's Readers Club? So, here are some things that I was able to gather. And I hope that you out there on Michi's Readers Club will be able to get something good out of this and even share it with others. So it says if you are stressed, these are some things that you might feel. You might feel irritable, angry, impatient, or even wound up. Guess what? Even our kids feel that. Our children at school feel irritable. They feel wound up. And, we want to say that, oh, why are they acting out? Well, guess what? They're not really, for a lot of kids, it's not that they're acting out. It's that they are feeling some type of stress, either from home or knowing something at school could be causing them stress. Even going to the park or going out into the city, we have to know what it is that causes even ourselves to be stressed out. Because sometimes going places and doing things can build stress up, and it can cause you to be one of these things. You could be irritable, you could be angry, you could be impatient, you could be wound up. And then it says you could be overburdened or overwhelmed. How many of us can say that you have felt overburdened or overwhelmed? I know I can say it. Yep, I sure can. I can say that I have been overburdened and overwhelmed before. Now, here's something else I want to add to that, right? It says you can be anxious, nervous, or afraid. You may even be unable to enjoy even yourself. Some people can't even find pleasure in doing things for themselves because they're so what? Stressed out. So, even stress can cause depression. Who do you know feels depression? Now, a lot of us today should be able to say, well, I know a lot of people that I know a lot of people nowadays that are feeling depressed. You may even feel depressed. And Some of you, it says like you feel like you've lost your humor, your sense of humor. Where you find that you can't even uh think of something to joke about or laugh about or smile about. I mean, you're that stressed out, right? So let me move on. Let's talk about what leads to stressful moments. There are three alarming signs of stress: heaviness in your chest, or an increased heart rate, or chest pain. How many of us have felt any of those things? Heaviness in the chest, where it feels like something heavy is on your chest, your heart rate starts to speed up, or you may even get some chest pain. I can honestly say that I have felt all of those things before. Especially when I'm dealing with like family situations, because right now I'm helping with taking care of my mom. I'm helping with trying to be respectful and help out with other people um, when they need me. And then sometimes I even forget to take care of me. How many of us have forgotten to even take care of ourselves? So I want you to think about it. Then it says some other signs are shoulder pains. Okay, you might get shoulder, neck, or even back pain. These are signs of stress. You may even get some general body aches and pains. So be on the lookout for those different things that cause stress. And it says shortness of breath or dizziness. Some of us get shortness of breath where we feel like we can't breathe, or we get dizzy where we feel like we're about to fall over. I can honestly say that that has been my situation. You may even feel tired. You may even have some anxious thoughts, or like we said, depressed. Be careful and be watchful of these signs of stress. Now, let's spend a couple of minutes talking about anxiety. Because guess what? Stress and anxiety go hand in hand. So let's take a look. It says five symptoms of anxiety. You could be feeling restless, wound up, or on edge, right? So that means you could be feeling a little bit more than just stressed. Now you're really wound up and you're really feeling on edge and restless. These are some signs, these are some symptoms of feeling anxieties. Next, it says you may be, it says being easily fatigued. Some of us get easily tired. And I didn't know that anxiety could cause you to feel tired. And and now that I think about it, there are times when I have felt so tired that I just feel like I can't go on. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. It happened to me this week when I was at work. I felt so tired when I first went to work, and I just cried. I cried, and I was like, "Oh my Lord, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do." But I knew that part of that was because I had a lot on my plate. How many of us have experienced having so much on our plate that we don't even know which way to go? We got our hands, in other words, in every piece of the pie. Oh my goodness. Am I talking to somebody out there, or is this just for me? So, next it says, that you could be having difficulty concentrating. You could be feeling irritable. You could be having headaches, muscle aches, stomach aches, or unexplained pains. All these are part of anxiety. Um, Difficult controlling your feelings of worry, right? All of us can attest to that. All of us can agree that there are times that we have feelings of worryation, and we get these headaches, and we get these stomach aches, and we get these um uh unexplained pains in our bodies, okay, that we don't know what to do. Did you know that that was a part of anxiety? You could be having an anxiety attack and not even realize it. Mm, wow. Last but not least, you could be having sleep problems, such as difficulty falling or staying asleep. How many of us are having those issues as well? Well, guess what? I can attest to that, because there are times when even I feel like I just can't sleep. My Lord. And sometimes I just have to sit back, take some deep breaths, listen to some music to help me de stress and de escalate from all the stress and anxieties of this world. Now, there are some things that you can do for even your children. Guess what? Some of the same things I just talked about. You want to be able to get them to breathe. Take them outside, let them get some fresh air. Today is a great day to do that. For those of us who struggle with pollen and that sinus stuff, just be careful about how long you stay out there. But it's good to get those babies outside. Take them outside and say, hey, take a deep breath, breathe. It's okay. And some of the babies that I work with, I have to help them with that. I even have to help them take walks. I have to help them count. Even I have to count when I'm feeling stressed or anxious about something. I have to take my time and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sometimes I have to count to 10. And then I relax, and then I can move on. So this morning, I just wanted to be able to give these tips, strategies to someone that may be feeling stressed, that may be feeling some type of anxiety, and maybe you don't know what to do with it. But guess what? I just gave you some easy things, easy tips. But guess what? I know some of you say it's easier said than done. Well, that may be true. But guess what? You have to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. Um, and even with our kids, if we want to help them to get over their stress and their anxiety attacks that they might be feeling, give them some of these things to do. And also, it's a good idea, according to research, it's a good idea to maybe cut back on taking them out so much. Cut back on allowing them to watch TV shows that causes a lot of that. I have noticed that our kids watch a lot, and I'm gonna put that out there, but they're watching a lot of these shows that cause the adrenaline to drum up, and they don't know how to handle that as kids. So we as adults have to help them, right? And that means that if you're allowing your child to watch too much TV, get on those iPads and tablets and watching all these shows that cause them to be like, and you already know what they are, okay? I don't think that I should have to tell you what they are. But guess what? I'm going to look a few of them up so that I can help you. And I'm going to give you some examples, okay? And we're going to go with movies. I'm going to put in movies that cause stress and anxiety. Okay. Um, let's go with and anxiety for kids. Cause y'all know I'm gonna look it up. Cause I don't want to just be saying anything, right? So, what is the kids movie about? Let's see. It says, can certain movies trigger anxieties? Okay. Well, sure. Sure they can. For example, it says horror movies. When you allow your kids to watch horror movies. Now, I've heard some kids say that they have got to watch, they be watching some of these horror movies with their parents. It says getting into scary stuff at a young age isn't usually cause for alarm. That's what they say. But guess what? It actually does. It says toddlers and young children who watch violent movies, including stuff about Halloween, right? Halloween horror films, television shows, or even video games may be more likely to develop anxiety, sleep disorders, and aggressive and self endangering behaviors. So, who do you know that are out there allowing their children to watch these type of shows, horror films, violent movies? We've all been guilty of it. Sorry to say, but they're out there. Okay, they are out there, and you know for yourself that these things are out there. Now, do you know what kind of scary movies are out there that can cause psychological damage or uh, you know, mental health issues? Once again, it says anything. It says watching horrific images can trigger unwanted thoughts and feelings and increase levels of anxiety and panic. It says, and even increase our sensitivity, right, to startle, eliciting stimuli, okay, making those of us who are anxious more likely to respond negatively and misinterpret the sensation as real threats. For example, I have heard young kids say they have watched all of the Chucky movies. Hey, nobody's kid should be watching Chucky. I'm just going to be honest. Now, that's my belief. Now, you can believe what you want as a parent or as an adult who has children. But I'm telling you now, Chucky movies, I hate to tell you, they should not be watching that. They should not be watching any kind of Halloween stuff. They should not be there. I'm just giving you my suggestions as a teacher because guess what? I get to see all this stuff when they come to school. And especially the ones that come in there doing all this karate stuff, and all that. And and then you try to get them to calm down and they're like all tensed up. Do you know that we have to be able to help our children by not allowing them to watch this stuff, guys? It's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to them. I'm going to say this again. It is not fair to the children for us to allow them not only to watch, but even to listen to those movies. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when they hear like that eerie music, and you know, the music from movies and games, they are made to arouse or cause adrenaline in you. Yeah, they are made to cause you to feel fear, anxiety, stress, all those things that you don't want your children to go through. I mean, even us as adults, there's a lot of adults out here that can't deal with that. So, why would we want to put our kids in that same situation? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We should not want that. I'm just going to be honest. So, what I'm saying to you today is we have to be careful what we allowing our kids to watch, listen to, and play. A lot of them say they play shooting games. A lot of them are playing these games where they get to kill something. You know, we got to be careful of what we're putting into our kids, right? Even what we're putting into our own spirits. Because guess what? Those same spirits that we are listening to, that we are watching with our eyes, some of that resonates even in our own spirits, and we begin to get anxious and we get stressed out. Why? Because we just put ourselves through something that we're not able to handle. So, with that being said, I'm getting ready to end this segment. And I think I'm going to talk about it again because it's very powerful, and it's something that we should all be knowing about. We should be learning about in order not only just to help ourselves, but even to help our kids. The kids need us, and we need to be able to put good things into them. We want to allow them to be able to hear things that are going to help them feel good on the inside, so that when they're away from mom and dad or away from home, they don't feel so stressed. They don't feel a lot of anxiety attacks coming on them. So, believe it or not, these are some things that are causing a lot of stress and anxiety in our kids. So, let's be helpful to them. You may not feel like you need it, but they need it. Because guess what? When they come to school, we get to deal with all of that while they're in school. And then guess what? When they get home, a lot of parents say, well, I ask them, I say, well, what do you and your child do when you get home? You know what they say? Well, we eat dinner, we take baths, and we go to bed. So the only time they're really dealing with these behaviors is on the weekend. And some people, they may deal with them and deal with those stressful and anxiety feelings when they're at home, because sometimes your kid may act out. They may tell you, no, I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat that. And they might run all around the house and all that kind of stuff. And what is the first thing you do to help that you think is going to help calm them? You give them a tablet, you give them an iPad, and you say, here, sit down and watch this. Guess what? It's not helping. We got to learn to protect our kids. Now, I'm not saying that everything is bad. Some kids, some parents are actually doing a great job of limiting how much tablet or how much TV, and they're taking the time to look at what their kids are watching. Okay, because kids do mimic. If you don't know nothing else by now, please know kids mimic everything. They mimic what they see on TV. They mimic everything they see on D tablets. When they playing those video games, they even mimic you, right? So that's my take on it. That's my spell. You can like it. You can share it. And please, please, please remember, take time for yourself to de-stress, listen to some good music, just 10, 15 minutes out of your day. Even for your child, believe me, it makes the world a difference. These are things that you can do easily. You don't have to go out and buy something. You don't have to buy an app. You don't have to do it. Just simply listening to some nice music, taking time to breathe and take in the fresh air. Those are some great ways to de escalate, to de stress, to bring that anxiety down, and even talk about what you're feeling. Okay? So until next time, I will see you again. And please, please take care of yourself. Find times of quietness for yourself and even for your child. I hope you've learned something today. Talk to you another time. Bye bye.